There's lots of chatter at the moment, and what we're seeing it actually as of yesterday, Bank of England increased their rates by another 0.5%.
Right.
We're now at 1.75.
Yes.
Do you remember those days when rates were 0.99?
I do remember those, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
It wasn't, no.
Well, it feels like a long time ago now, actually. So, we're seeing an increase in interest rates. How have your clients taken that first?
I think some of the clients have taken it in the right way, and I say the right way is that they've accepted the fact that rates are going to go up and we need to budget for the increase in mortgage payments.
Yeah.
So some of the clients have adjusted to that. What I'm also doing with some of my clients, especially the existing clients, is I'm looking at the existing mortgage and saying, when is the renewal coming up? So if it's in the space of the next 6 months, then I'm trying to sort of look at the transaction quite early. The reason I'm doing that is because that gives them the opportunity to lock in a rate early to safeguard against any potential future rate rises.
Yeah, good.
So that's what I'm doing at the moment,
Yeah.
below my clients actually. But there are some clients where, especially when they're looking some kind of project work and they're looking at a buy-to-let transaction, it is causing them a bit of a concern. And the reason why it's causing them of a concern is because there isn't that level of profit margin in the transaction. Mm-hmm. And so I'm seeing a lot of my clients also looking at buy-to-let transactions in a limited company name.
Yeah.
For two reasons. One is the fact that obviously the tax advantages that they have by setting up a limited company and offsetting the interest, but at the same time the buying power is more in terms of getting a higher lend amount. And so that's what I'm seeing a lot more. Having said all that, clients that are sitting on a lot of equity or have got a portfolio which is low geared, they're still looking at projects that they're thinking over the next 12, 20, 18 months. So I'm seeing a mix of things. I'm seeing clients where, especially if they're more elderly clients, I've seen they've suddenly backed off one or two transactions thinking we don't want this hassle and stress right now because we can't see a profit margin there, and it would have been nice to top this extra income on top of pension income that we're getting. So I'm seeing that as well, but at the same time I'm seeing clients who are saying, it's fine, we'll ride the storm. We've got the projects in the pipeline. 4-5% still isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm realizing is that clients have been mentally prepared for the last 2-3 months that rates are going to be in that area, and so they're looking at other ways of trying to make sure that they're getting a good return for the investment. And that's what I'm saying is that we've got very savvy investors out there.
No, it's good to hear. So just in a nutshell, that you've got savvy clients, savvy investors that are still positive about the market. However, they're number crunching a bit more in detail.
Right.
And for those people, I should say, that are purchasing property to do perhaps a refurb project, they're conscious of cost of materials going up.
That's right.
The timeframes of doing the conversions, and the end values. Now, it's one question that just actually alluded to me is valuations.
Yes.
And unfortunately, there are a few downgrading valuations, and I got one this morning, which was down by 35%. And I've seen comparables in the past from the client, and they match, but the surveyor in this occasion has come down 35%. So we're going to have to contest that valuation. There's no two ways about that.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a few more down valuations in the current climate in the last couple of months?
I've had one recently. I've been very fortunate. I challenged the lender. It was a small one. When I say small, it was under 100,000. Although it was down valued, it didn't meet the lender's criteria. But for the sake of £5,000, I managed to leverage a relationship, and they just offered yesterday.
Oh, amazing.
On the case. So the client was happy because they locked in a low rate, because since the announcement of the rates had gone up. So for the sake of 5,000 here and there, he wasn't overly bothered.
Good.
Having said, I have seen down valuations for sure.
Yeah.
I have seen normally down valuations up to 15%.
Yeah.
10% generally tends to be your norm. Up to 15% is what I would say is acceptable. Anything beyond 15%, we have lenders actually who turn and say, here's a form, you can appeal against the decision because it's above 10%. So it's better than to do your homework, like you said, get the comparables, and the lenders will look at it. Some lenders will have a a blanket policy to say we can't appeal against the decision.
Yeah.
Some lenders will turn and say, yeah, we will do it. Like you said, we had a discussion with the lender yesterday that turned and said, this particular survey we're having problems with, and so if you start getting down valuations, then we're carefully looking at options whereby we can challenge those valuations.
Perfect. And I must add, the down valuations that we're finding are predominantly in the space where people are converting properties from perhaps an office to a residential or from a single dwelling property into a 6-bed HMO. Right. So we're seeing a bit of distress in the valuations in that arena, I would say, more so than refinancing your main residence, which is good.